Yeah, yeah, very good and very well received.
Now in a pub, not watching football.
Not watching football. Yeah, flipping with hate coming on sea. When Nigel was here, we ended up in the pub watching the football.
Oh, I'm sure you would do, because Nigel loves football.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm less keen.
So, not your first trip to Blackpool?
Oh, no. I mean, during the Conservative years, as I always do, when I was actually in government and in the shadow cabinet, we came here every other year for our big annual conference. Then I came, some years after that, I came here again because I'd got through to that round in Strictly Come Dancing.
That's right, yeah.
Which they always had with Blackpool. So no, I'm certainly no stranger to Blackpool.
No, yeah, it's very nice for you to be here as well. The election, obviously, big talking points next week. Reform, we know it's not going to win, and we know Labour are out in front, but the polls now...
I think Reform can be the opposition.
Exactly.
Oh, we're not going to be the government, of course. And I'm not going to tell silly lies like that. We've got Starmer. We're going to get Keir Starmer, and he's going to be there for up to 5 years. It's his choice. That is undeniable. But the bigger question is, who is going to be the opposition, and what is the opposition going to be based on? And I believe that we can form the opposition, and I believe that we can reintroduce some common sense values.
So, just back of a fag packet calculation, how many seats do you reckon Reform may win for?
I would think somewhere between 3 and 10. But don't forget that the Ulster Unionists, well, at any rate, the Unionist parties, held the balance of power with 10 seats. So don't forget that. 10 seats is not negligible. 3 or 4 seats is a presence which we haven't had before.
Yeah. A lot of people say it might be a bit higher.
Oh, I am privately hoping that if I'm asked to apply my brain rather than my heart, then at this moment, I mean, things can change in the course of a week, and I might give you a completely different assessment in 5 or 6 days' time. But at the moment, I think between 3 and 10.
Yeah. So also at the start of the election, Reform were very much...
They were saying no seats at all.
No seats at all.
Yeah.
And now, like, our local Labour candidate, Chris Webby's now running scared because his campaign funds have dried up since the by-election. A lot of money was spent on him to get him through.
I mean, the simple fact is that in the course of 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks, in the course of nearly 3 weeks, the Reform Party's gone from no seats predicted to up to 10 predicted. It's gone from under 10% in the polls to overtaking the Tories in at least 2 polls. The trajectory is clearly upwards. Now, there's still a week to go. So there's everything to play for, and what I would like to see us playing for is the Labour vote. And I take it for granted that disgruntled Tories will now come to us because they don't really have anywhere else to go. But I think we now need to start to talk to the sort of person who voted for Maggie, who voted for Boris, the working man and woman with aspirations.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what a lot of people are worried about was the Reform Party being taken over by the Conservatives, by jumping ship from Conservatives onto the Reform battle bus and being a 2.0 version of the Conservatives.
I think it would be a folly to deny that certainly most of our early support came from the Conservatives because they were just so fed up and disillusioned by the bucketful, and therefore they were coming to us in their thousands, and then in their tens of thousands. But our appeal has always been broader than that, which is why, after all, we won Brexit, why Boris won the referendum, why Maggie won the majority she did. If you appeal to people's aspirations, then you appeal across the boards.
Well, just quickly, going back to 2019 election, Nigel Farage, we had the Reform Party back then, but we scaled down...
It wasn't the Reform Party.
The Brexit Party. But, Nigel, we didn't field any competitors against the Conservatives because we needed to win to get Brexit over the line, which now we've got in name only. It's a different story.
We did a deal with the Conservatives, which I think we now regret, and we certainly will never do one again. We did a deal with the Conservatives because they said that they would get Brexit done. The opposition was, if you remember, Jeremy Corbyn, who we regarded as extremely dangerous. And therefore we agreed to do a deal whereby we stood down in all the Conservative-held seats. We offered to stand down in all the marginals as well, as long as they gave us their 10 worst seats. That is to say, seats they'd never held, never had, an ice cube in hell's chance of ever winning. And if they gave us their 10 worst seats, we would stand down in all the marginals. Pretty generous offer. They were so arrogant and dismissive and refused to do any deal. And now they're paying the penalty for it, because we won't deal with them again.
Do you think it would be fair to ask the Conservatives voters now to lend us their vote for the Reform Party to try and at least get Reform as the opposition? Because there's no way the Conservatives are going to be there.
Well, there's no way that the Conservatives are going to be anywhere near forming a government. And so the question is, who do you want the opposition to be? Now, you can have the Conservatives on their present chaotic course, or you can have Reform, which stand for many of the things that the Conservatives used to. That is really, it's up to individual voters, but I think this is a time to take your courage in both hands and vote not for what you're afraid might happen, but for what you actually want.
Exactly. Well, Anne, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very much appreciate it, and welcome to Blackpool.
And good luck with the project.
Thank you very much.
I said, what